blockchain is going to affect the life of your next generations.
Prepare for launch in 3, 2, 1.
A friend of mine recently asked me how blockchain will affect the life of his children. I'm glad to hear these questions because that means he is not only concerning about the current crypto market, but he is concerning about when blockchain is applying into other industry, how that is going to affect our lives. Currently, there are 1.7 billion people in the world who are unbankable. That means they do not have a bank account. They either live too far away from a banking facilities, or they do not have the documents required by the banking system in order to open an account. So for this group of people, they do not have the privilege to enjoy the convenience of the banking systems. For Bitcoin, anybody can just register themselves with a Bitcoin address and then they can start receiving or sending Bitcoin over the blockchain to the other persons even at the other corner of the world. You do not need to provide any documents to prove who you are. By registering an address, you do not need to put any Bitcoin in that address. You can just have an address with zero balance, which is quite different from our current banking system, which require you to have a certain balance in the bank account. And you do not need to go to a branch or go over to the ATM to send money or remit money overseas. All you need to have is a device that are connecting to the internet, and this convenience allowed everyone to be able to send money or something of value over the blockchain without an intermediary like a central bank. This is going to change how your children is going to understand the financial system in the future. I really like how Andrea Antopoulos put it. Blockchain is not only going to help those unbankable, but will unbank all of us when we all move to blockchain. How you can prepare your children for the future? If there is only one thing you can teach your children, teach your children to be responsible. First, responsible of their identity. Everything happened on the blockchain is traceable. Now don't freak out. It doesn't mean that like your identity, whatever you spend, how much you own, and where you spend your Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency on will be known by others. Well, it will be if you let everybody know which accounts belongs to you, but if you do not mention that, it will be very unlikely for others to know which account or address belongs to you and what you spent on. So we need to safeguard our identity. Secondly, be responsible of your actions. Whatever happens in the blockchain is not editable and is not deletable. If you have sent a transaction wrongly to a wrong address or sent a wrong amount, there's no way for you to reverse it. If the receiver is kind enough to send the amount back to you, you are lucky. But most likely it will not. So we'll need to be responsible for our actions to make sure we send to the right address with the right account. Well, many would say that that is so not safe. With blockchain, you can open an account or own an address and send any transactions anytime without showing your identity. That's a privilege. With privilege, there's responsibilities. So you need to be responsible to your own actions. Thirdly, learn to be responsible of your private key. An account or an address on the blockchain is usually made up of a private key and public key pair. The private key is very important as whoever have the private key control whatever asset that is in the account or the address. If you lost your private key, you lost the assets in that account or that address. If somebody else get on hold of your private key, that person have a control over your assets in that address or that account. So, learn to be responsible and teach your kids to be responsible. Subscribe to the channel for weekly update. Put your feedback or questions down at the comment sections and I will pick them up and answer them at the next video. Till then, see you. Bye bye.